Welcome into Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair. And if it looks awkward at the table, it's because it is. I am all alone. Amy Beth is gone.
She is, but also you need to mute your iPad over there. You got to turn the volume down.
Hold on. Boomer here. Wait, how do I do that?
Just the volume tabs on the top. You just turn it all the way down.
Hold on. Oh, wait. Now I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I turned it up.
There you go.
So it's still there.
No, I think it's gone. No, maybe not. We'll figure it out in the break.
Okay. Yeah, this is weird. Amy Beth is living it up in the tropical island somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just myself and JP. Everything's all confuzzled because Amy Beth has her iPad that we usually use. So I'm using my daughter's iPad, which now I'm getting all of her group texts coming through.
That's dangerous.
So I will be very distracted. This is crazy. But JP, how was your weekend?
Oh, brother. It was a long weekend.
Why?
Moving, I moved all my stuff from Gadsden to a storage unit in Beeham, where it will be staying in the meantime. But yeah, and my day Sunday started at 8 o'clock and I think ended at 6 p.m. Yeah.
Wait, Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
But Saturday was kind of rough too, right?
What was Saturday? I can't even remember.
Did you watch football?
Saturday. No. Well, I did. I didn't watch much football. Oh, Saturday was me going over to Gadsden and getting all the things I could ready to box up. So I didn't watch much football Saturday anyways. But yeah, it was a long weekend.
How are you feeling about the move? How are you feeling? Tell me about your feelings.
I mean,
it weird?
It is weird. I think this is my second major move. First was moving all of this over, which was a lot in itself, and then I had about a 2-3 week break, and then I had another big move. So let's just say 2 men in a truck will be doing the next move, so I don't have to go through all that again. But I don't know. I mean, I feel great. It's exciting stuff. It's just a lot.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, this studio was a huge undertaking that I didn't even participate in because I was in Auburn.
You watched Hugh Freeze's last football game ever.
I have never put that together.
Mm-hmm. You were there.
Darn.
You're the reason they lost.
I just never thought he was the right fit. I really didn't. And bless it, I think he tried and I think he wanted to be it, but he just was not it.
I think you may be the only Auburn fan that did not think Hugh Freeze coming to Auburn was like set in the stars, biblical alignment, perfect fit.
Oh, yeah.
He was an Auburn man. He was the guy. And now that we still love Hugh. He's still an Auburn man. He tried his best.
I mean, he did. I think he did, but that just didn't work for us.
No.
What are you hearing for our future?
I don't know. If you want my personal take, I think you're all going to hire Eli Drinkowitz from Missouri because he was on the Auburn team in 2010 as like a QB coach or something. He's a great coach in Missouri with the resources they have. I think he would be a great fit, but also it is kind of crazy. There hasn't been any leaks or rumors from the Auburn side. Whereas you go across to Mississippi and the Lane Kiffin saga is going on, Auburn hasn't had any of that. They've kept a tight ship. It's pretty crazy.
Do you like, I don't know if I can say Drinkowitz.
Yeah, you can just say drink.
Or you can dunk it. I don't know if I can, it just doesn't roll off the tongue well.
Coach Drinkowitz. You'll get used to it. He's a great coach, but I don't know. Y'all may just promote Durkin, which would be an interesting move.
He seems to have at least the trust and respect, and he has gotten the players into a mode of at least trying and caring. So there's something to that. As I watched this weekend, I was like, what is the difference? Like, why couldn't we do this for Hugh Freeze? Now, Deuce was awesome. I'm sorry.
That scares me. Deuce scares me this
week.
Kind
of peaking at the right time.
I know. Like, Auburn's got nothing to lose going into Jordan-Hare. Night game. Why they made it a night game, I don't know. It's annoying.
It is weird. I don't remember the last time it was a night game.
Well, the last time it was a night game in Auburn was 2000. The last time it was a night game in Alabama, I think was 2016 or 2014, because that was the time Dixieland Delight got banned after that game. They eventually brought it back, but they banned it for like 5 or 6 years.
I do remember that. That was so dumb. Yeah. That was so dumb.
And now they do the beat Auburn over the speakers to try to blare it out. But
yeah, I just think that was stupid. We can't have anything these days. Have you seen Bill? What's his last name? Mars. His thing about Thanksgiving.
No.
Oh, we might have to play it tomorrow. It's funny. It's the whole like the politically correct liberals have ruined everything. Like we can't even have Thanksgiving anymore. It's pretty good.
Why can't we have Thanksgiving?
He's just like it's all turned into this. Everything is so politically charged that now he says, I'll see if I can find it. He's like, we've gone from, Thanksgiving used to be all about football and family and fried foods and fun. And now it's about beep you're not invited and you can't talk about this at the, and I thought it's so right that it's just gotten so stupid that we can't even be at Thanksgiving with some of our family because we have different political views. And I've watched this weekend, holy cow. And I don't think we want to get into this because it's a very nuanced conversation. We've touched on it with the Tucker, Nick Fuentes stuff. But I mean, lines are being drawn in the sand. These are people that have historically worked together and fought for conservative causes. And I have friends that are staunchly on both sides. And I don't know how we recover from this.
You talking about like the split on the right, mainly?
The split on the right. And it goes back to Tucker. It goes back to Nick. It goes back to platforming, free speech, hate speech, anti-Semitism, dispensationalism versus post-millennial. It's like it's so deep and heavy and from Christians to how do you view the Jewish faith that I don't even know if people know exactly what they're talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? Like one person might be talking about just free speech and hey, I mean, they may have stupid ideas, but they can say it as long as they're not inciting violence. And the other person is talking about the Israeli government and you think you're arguing the same thing, but you're not. But I'm watching on Facebook as things are just imploding and wondering how many people's Thanksgivings are going to go.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I think long term it's going to be better, honestly, because part of the problem with Republicans has been the soft and squishiness and not. We make fun of the left for this, but I think it's how they get so much stuff done whenever they are in power. They are so in line for the most part and so in agreement on everything, and they're so effective that way. I think after the dust settles in this MAGA split or whatever, I think the party may be better off for it because then I think whoever wins or prevails or whatever, I think that's going to be the unified party moving forward. I could be wrong, but I think it's pretty toxic right now, though. I would agree. You got to unplug from X for a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think I do not claim to have the moral high ground or know enough to choose either side. Like I'm still trying to learn. This has forced me to think about things that I've probably never even really contemplated before. And so I just can't believe how staunchly people will stand on both sides when I think it's a little more nuanced and gray. Some of it is just truth and just needs to be said. Some of it is not. And anyway, I don't know. I don't think we can ever, maybe we can do it on the radio, but I just think it's way too heavy of a subject to where you really couldn't get all of it. Either way, you'll be misunderstood in some way.
Yeah, for sure. And it's led to, I think, Marjorie Taylor Greene, which we're going to talk about, resigning.
Good. Is she in the montage?
Yes, she is. Yeah, okay, for sure.
And I do. Did we put Trump and Mamdani in the?
We did.
Okay, because I think that, to me, that's a bigger possible split than what's going on with Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. Whatever, they're just talking people that may say things you like and don't like. Whatever, move on if you don't like it. But Trump and his love fest with Mamdani, I'm having a hard time. I can't wait. I don't know what you put in the montage, but I can't wait to have that discussion with you guys.
It is a crazy discussion. It's nuts.
Well, I have very mixed feelings on it. Mm-hmm. Also, I don't think you and I talked about this last night in our prep call.
While I was driving to Huntsville.
We were prepping for this show very seriously. Apparently, Punchbowl News is reporting that there are a handful, up to 15 to 20 congresspersons thinking of stepping down and I'll tell you why. We'll have to get to that later, but
I'm interested. I have not seen that article.
yeah, I think we're at a flexion point in this whole thing
Oof.
of life in America. It's coming down. Did you put the bacon clip in there? Did you laugh when you watched it?
I did. Yeah. It's pretty
Okay.
funny.
Y'all got to stick around. I know we got to take a break, but we have a great montage. If JP did what we talked about, it's going to be really good. But we've got a ton of news to cover on this very Monday, holiday Monday. But we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair with JP. Amy Beth is not here. Why do we still have an echo?
And maybe your earbuds.
You think it's my new? But this way I don't have to worry about my hair.
Well, yeah, we just may need to turn the volume down.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Could a listener text us in and text us in?
Yeah.
Could a listener do the texting at the Walmarts and tell us if there's some feedback?
Yeah, let us know if it's coming through.
Yeah, because I can hear it, but I'm not sure if it's coming through. So, yeah, Amy Beth is living it up on some tropical island all week.
All week.
While we are here. Which tomorrow I was thinking we need to do some fun Thanksgiving trivia.
Yeah, we need to do some sort of Thanksgiving for Wednesday. Or Tuesday. Sorry, tomorrow.
We won't be here Wednesday, right?
Sure. No, we will not. I can't remember what day of the week is anymore.
It's Monday. It's very much a Monday. So we've got a little bit of time. I think we can get to the montage.
We can.
But first,
I got to tell you all about Attorney Stan McDonald. Attorney Stan McDonald, who is a 30-year veteran in the practice of law in North Alabama, not only will Stan advocate and fight for your legal needs and rights, but he has been an absolute warrior for causes near and dear to our Rightside Roofing community. Attorney Stan McDonald has represented his clients in literally thousands of real estate transactions over the years. And when Stan McDonald is on your side, you have no greater friend, and likewise, your adversary will have no greater foe. Attorney Stan McDonald at the law firm of Wilmer and Lee out of Huntsville. Here's his phone number, 256-533-0202. That's Stan McDonald, 256-533-0202. And tell him you heard about it on Rightside Radio. And no representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. And now, stand by for news.
Time for news.
I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay,
So.
all right.
Okay, it's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
I wanted to come and be with all of you today to talk about the fact that we as the Department of Homeland Security are going to be investing over $1 billion in new technology and new advancements in the security systems at security checkpoints in airports across the country.
To bring people to get those plants opened, we want you to do that, and we want those people to teach our people how to make computer chips and how to make other things. You can't come in, open up a massive computer chip factory for billions and billions of dollars like is being done in Arizona and think you're going to hire people off an unemployment line to run it. They're going to have to bring thousands of people with them, and I'm going to welcome those people. Now, I love my conservative friends. I love MAGA, but this is MAGA.
First of all, they literally told you a few months ago that Epstein was not running a trafficking ring at all. Now they're saying there are national security concerns in the intelligence of the guy who was not running a trafficking ring. Why would there be concerns about our national security in the Epstein files? Doesn't that seem odd to anyone?
After the prayer ended, we look up to see them taunting us in our faces with bacon. I had to relive the whole thing again.
Okay, for those of y'all not watching online, that last clip gets me every time, and I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble. It was in Florida, and actually there's a huge issue with this whole thing. But apparently at one of the mosques, they were having a press conference or something, and 3 non-Muslim men came up and were just standing there eating bacon while the imam spoke. And the whole time he said he just was scarred because they didn't touch anybody. They didn't do anything wrong. They just were talking about how good the bacon was while they were eating the bacon in front of the Muslims. And that was his press conference regarding that incident because 3 Florida men were arrested for harassment.
They were arrested.
They were arrested
for eating bacon.
For eating bacon.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't touch anyone. They didn't do anything wrong. They were eating bacon. So that's a whole discussion, and one that actually, and we don't have time to go into it. There's a bill in the Alabama House that was just filed. It's HB 51, and it is similar to, it parallels what just happened in Florida. And I want to read a little bit of the bill and get your thoughts on it. But we'll come back to that because there's so much in that montage.
Yeah, it's a pretty jam-packed montage.
I'm really impressed you got it all in there.
You. Also, talking about the Muslim guy, I wonder if anti-Christian, demonstrations or whatever, if people ever get arrested for that. Probably not.
I think you can answer that.
Yeah.
Because apparently Christians are not a minority. Probably if you're a white male, you
Actually, the white men who do Christian protests, they get arrested. No, not yet. Yep. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe in England. But I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, to me, these were white males that were somewhat protesting Islam, and they were arrested in Florida. I don't know. I need to look and see if Ron DeSantis spoke about it.
I haven't yet, but I can already tell Ron DeSantis is positioning himself with some of the stuff he's putting up for a presidential run. I don't know if you've noticed this too. Oh yeah, big time. The stuff he's been tweeting and putting out there. Yeah, for sure. He's positioning himself.
Okay, we need to talk about that too.
We do.
Curious your thoughts on DeSantis.
The sanctimonious.
I like him.
I do too.
I think he ran a terrible campaign, but
I
like him. All right, break's coming up again. It happens like every 10 minutes. It's really frustrating, but we will be back on the other side with more Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm JP sitting alongside Allison here from the Rightside Studios from the Treehouse. Which, by the way, did you see Daryl today?
No.
Yeah, when I was here this weekend moving stuff into the Treehouse. He wasn't there.
Do you think his girlfriend came back?
Maybe his divorce ended and he's now back. But I don't know.
You think he was just in the doghouse for a while?
He may have been, but he was hanging out with us. But our mascot has left us, Daryl.
I have a feeling he might be back.
Maybe we should give it a couple of days, see if Daryl changes his mind and comes on back.
I'm really happy for him if he is gone because he was always lonely and seemed a little angry.
He did. He was always squawking at me. Like,
yeah.
Dude, chill out. It's
like
not my fault your wife left you. My bad.
God didn't design us to live on our own.
No.
Even the geese.
Well, 833-687-4448 is the text line number, by the way. If y'all want to text in, let us know your thoughts on whatever we're talking about throughout the show. We'd greatly appreciate that. And you'll get your text read out on air if it is radio appropriate. But first, what do you want to start with the montage and the topics? MTG resigning. We got Trump and Mamdani being besties. You got H-1Bs, Epstein.
You choose.
I think MTG resigning is a major story already.
Well, I would like to actually all right, let's dissect what the heck happened.
Mm-hmm.
I have some people in my orbit are like, she was a traitor, all the things that Donald Trump said. Some people in my orbit, it's kind of the Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson thing, are like, no, the swamp shut her down. She got shut out. Donald Trump is playing both sides. He's part of the unipart. Like they're starting to kind of crack, like Tim Dillon. No, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Was saying he's really close to walking out on Trump, which is crazy.
It is.
So where do you fall and what do you think's going on?
Okay, well, I think it's nuanced. I'll say this. I don't like either side of it because I really don't trust MTG and her motives with all this because it seemed really inauthentic. So
tell me what you heard or what did she say? Why she left?
Why she left, she essentially said that it was. So I think the most interesting part of why she said she left was that there's no 4D chess plan from the Republicans to help save America, and pretty much saying that the swamp has taken over the GOP and that there's really no saving it. There's no master plan, kind of insinuating that Trump is being used by the swamp and the Republicans in the Congress are not actually trying to fight for Americans. They're just trying to get reelected, yada, yada, yada. And that's why, she says she can't take it anymore. She's leaving. And it really all started with her dissenting with Trump over the Epstein files, Israel, other stuff like that. And Trump disavowed her and pulled his endorsement. And then 5 days later after Trump did that, she withdrew from Congress and resigned. So the timing is interesting. So I don't trust her motives. It seemed really inauthentic. Oh, another interesting piece about this. She's resigning 2 days after her federal pension kicks in.
Yeah.
So
I did not like that part.
I don't like either side of it because I think Marjorie Taylor Greene saw the split that was happening, and I think she thought that the future of the GOP was the side that she took of the America First, anti-foreign aid, release the Epstein files, kind of joining alongside Thomas Massie. But Massie has been what he is now his entire Congress career. MTG, it seemed really inauthentic. It seemed like she was jumping on a bandwagon and doing the hurrah, hurrah thing. And it was like she was doing it for her own political aspirations. But on the other side, also, I don't think the reasoning for why Trump disavowed her was very good either, because it seemed like he was siding with the swamp over. And I'm not saying I'm pro MTG, but his reasoning for disavowing MTG, I didn't like, of anti-Epstein file release, pro foreign aid, that sort of thing. So I don't like either side of it, but yeah, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene pulled her name out because she has presidential aspirations. She didn't want to go through an ugly primary because it would have damaged her reputation. And I think she's saving herself long term for another political run of some sort. That's my read on it.
So MTG, the past few weeks, I would say 4 or 5 maybe up to past 2 months, like her going on The View and a few things like that, I started going, I almost wondered if she was about to join the Democrat Party. I mean, it was weird what she was doing. She went back and said, all I was very mean to some people and that was foolish of me. She talked about Q. Do you remember her talking about that Q she felt really stupid which okay, yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
But she just started backtracking on a lot of the things, kind of the hardline things that she had stood for. In her defense, I think a lot of people that run for Congress do it for the right reasons, and they're very ideological about what it's going to be like when you get up there. And I, by no means, have spent a lot of time in DC, but I am very close to people that have and do. And it is, you're basically a talking head. Maybe if you're a senator, you've got a little bit more, but in the House, everything is already planned out for you. You can cause a stir, you can bring attention to things, but nothing gets put into motion, nothing gets passed unless the people up here, which again, I'm not quite sure who it is, because she talked about the uniparty and there's no 4D chess and there's none of that. I couldn't tell if she was saying Trump. You said she thinks Trump is being played. I took it as Trump is playing us.
Yeah. I think it's kind of one and the same ish. But yeah.
So, I mean, I guess the end result is the same.
Yeah. I guess the question is, how much of a role do you think Trump is playing in it? Or do you think Trump is the problem? I guess is the question. Like, does Trump have good intentions, but he's being flattered by the wrong people and, just kind of being misled? Or is Trump genuinely trying to, is Trump the swamp? I guess is the question.
Yeah.
Is Trump being played by the swamp, or is MTG saying that Trump is the swamp? Either way, it's kind of the same result, but I don't know. I think it's more of her. I think this was a political decision long term. Rather, I think her statement was red meat to the people who support her. I think she knew she probably wasn't going to win a primary if Trump was going after her that hard, and that's get her federal pension, take a break, and then run for president in 2028. That's part of the new MAGA or America First, whatever. But her statement about there's no 4D chess going on, I think she's right. I think a lot of the congressmen, Republicans in the House and the Senate, they're not actually spearheading certain issues as much as we would like, and I think it is because they're playing to special interests. What else is new? It's like the same old Republican Party. But I don't know. I think MTG. I don't trust her motives. I think this was political for long-term stuff.
She, in the clip that she or in the video she posted, she also, I think, talked about how stupid it is that since this Congress, we should be passing everything. She's like, all we do is pass stupid resolutions that mean nothing. They passed the big, beautiful bill and they have done nothing after that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, what's the point? And I think there's a lot of people in Congress that are feeling the same way, and we don't have time to go into it, but I want to read, she actually responded to the Punchbowl News report today that there are between 15 and 20 Congress persons that are thinking and contemplating stepping down and resigning. I'll tell you what for, but I think there's definitely a bigger issue going on. And then on the other side, you have the issue of Trump, which might be the issue, but and I think Mike Johnson is a big issue too.
I do too. Yeah.
And that is a whole other discussion. I think he's a terrible speaker. I can't speak to his character or his person. He might be a lovely person, but he is a terrible speaker. And I think people are fed up because there's such a breakdown. It's kind of a lot like Alabama. The governor's office, there should be very much a separation between the legislature and the governor's office. The governor's office strongly dictates what the legislature here in Alabama does. And I feel like that's a lot of what happens in Washington, where I think you have some more not totally conservatives, but maybe not Trumpy MAGA, that are like, we have no voice because the White House and the staff dictates everything we do, which goes back to Susie Wiles and all the terrible advisors and people that are elected to Congress. Like, do you know, you remember Marcus Luttrell?
I believe so.
What was Lone Survivor? Was that it? Or is it all running together? He was Lone Survivor.
I'll look it up.
His brother, Morgan Luttrell, is, I think this is his fourth year, his second term as a congressman, and he's not running again. Kind of the same thing. He's like, this isn't worth it. This is a joke. You know, we're not getting anything done. Those are the people we need there, but it just weeds them out. And they're like, what am I doing spending my time here? Which stinks, because if you don't have those good people running, then it gets even swampier.
Exactly. It's somebody from the top. And when I say from the top, I mean the White House. It does start there, but also like the Mike Johnsons and the others. There's just got to be so many people to go into Congress to outnumber the swamp. I think it's a lot harder of a fight than people realize, but I don't know. We're going to have more people that are willing to shut out the special interests. And
I do worry though, if you think about where we are, I know we've got to go to a break. I'm not great at time management. I like to herkle-durkle. But when Trump is going after Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, and MTG, who in so many ways are my favorite, maybe not my favorites, but I've never thought of them as the enemy.
Yeah.
It's just getting weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the reasoning why Trump, disavowed MTG, because it's such a swampy reason why. Even though, like I said, I don't trust Marjorie Taylor Greene. If he would have disavowed her for other reasons other than wanting to release the Epstein files and foreign aid, yada, 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 yada. It's like, okay.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
We need that from Seinfeld.
Yada, yada, yada.
We got to take a break. When we come back, I want to read this Punch Bowl News article from Jake Sherman and then MTG's response and see what y'all think about it. But we'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair with JP. Amy Beth is not here. It's kind of weird.
She's on a deserted island for Thanksgiving.
I hope she makes it back.
She will.
I told her not to get in white vans. Don't talk to strangers.
Well, she is in Mexico, so
she might not make it back.
Yeah, just don't leave the resort.
Disappear in a white van.
I don't know what the cartel situation is in Cancun.
Yeah, I didn't tell her, but it's kind of sketchy. I just didn't want to say anything. I just always pray, like when we go on vacation, I'm like, okay, God, if we're gonna die in a airplane wreck, like let it be on the way back, so that we can at least go and have fun,
have a one last,
and do the vacation instead of the way there. All right, I really would like to read to you this post from Jake Sherman, who is the head of Punch Bowl News, and then if we have time, it's not that long. Marjorie Taylor Greene's response, because I think it explains a lot, but it's a little bit of reading. Let me put my glasses on because I'm old. Okay, here we go. Now I can see. All right, Jake says, a few GOP members messaged us over the weekend saying they too are considering retiring in the middle of the term. Here's one particularly exercised senior House Republican. This entire White House team has treated all members like garbage, all, and Mike Johnson has let it happen because he wanted it to happen. That is all the sentiment. That is the sentiment of nearly all appropriators, authorizers, hawks, doves, rank and file, which I don't know what. Somebody tell me what all those things mean.
Yeah, what is
I don't know who
dove?
the hawks and doves and.
Oh, I guess warhawks, doves.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Thank you, JP. The arrogance of this White House team is off-putting to members who are run roughshod and threatened. They don't even allow small, little wins, like announcing small grants or even responding from agencies. Not even the high-profile, the regular rank and file random members are more upset than ever. I think now even the high-profile, the regular rank and file members are more upset than ever. Members know they are going into the minority after the midterms. More explosive resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel, and they will lose the majority before this term is out.
Oof. Well, I mean, I think that's right. Unfortunately, right now, how it stands, Republicans are not going to win the midterms. But I think a lot of it is because they're not getting stuff done. That seems like so simple. And if you have the majority, you just pass. I don't know. Bring up single bills on immigration. Bring up single bills on, I don't know, housing. It seems like they're not getting anything done in terms of, I mean, they passed the one big, beautiful bill, which gave record amount of money to ICE and Border Patrol, but also a lot of money to the military industrial complex and all. But it just seems so, it's like the opportunity of a lifetime where the Republicans controlled every branch, and it's like they're blundering it. But they're blundering it in such a bad way. They're also pissing off the left while doing it. So now there's going to be a massive blue wave in the midterms, and then their opportunity is going to be gone. So I don't blame them for wanting to leave early for that matter. But also, if you're leaving early, then you're kind of already giving, you're already kind of giving up. There's still a little bit of time before the midterms to try to get some of this stuff done. But I guess some people are just hopeless that anything's going to get done at this point.
Well, MTG actually a little bit addresses that in her response, but I'm curious what you think about if that senior Republican, doesn't name a name, says that the White House is controlling everything and that Mike Johnson is basically just doing the bidding of the White House, which is very clear that he is doing the bidding of someone. Why? Why is it being passed down that these are the directives?
I mean, in theory, I wouldn't have a problem with that if they were actually getting stuff done.
Well, no, but clearly that's what I'm saying. They don't want to get things done. They have the opportunity to. You still have a majority. Now, and MTG talks about this, we're about to go into where you've got to start campaigning. Everybody's going to be very distracted. Your best time is while you have the momentum coming off such a huge win, just start ramming stuff through. Because honestly, you don't really have a choice. It's a little bit like the filibuster. Just take the wins and do what you can, but you can't rule and govern off executive orders. They basically mean nothing. They mean something, but they're basically nothing. until it's codified, you really don't have anything that cannot easily be overturned in the next administration. So essentially, we've done nothing.
And we saw it too with the Doge situation. Why was it so hard? Okay, so we've codified what, a couple billion of the Doge rescissions, and it was the PBS and it was public broadcasting and another NPR. That package was passed, and that's really it. And actually, Ron DeSantis put up a tweet and said something about how Doge fought the swamp and the swamp won, because none of the. I mean, first of all, Elon only found 100 billion or so of waste instead of $1 trillion, like he said he wanted to. And then even of the 100 billion they found, they only codified like a couple billion of that.
Right.
So it's like somebody is not I don't know who it is. If it's in the White House or it's in the Congress, some swamp figure is not letting this stuff happen. It's disappointing.
But does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Because either way, it's not happening. And when you're Speaker of the House and you're President of the United States,
you ram it
stops
through.
with you, or it starts with you.
It's true.
Oh, I'll read Marjorie Taylor Greene's response on the other side, but we got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm JP here, sitting alongside Allison while Amy Beth is off vacationing for Thanksgiving week. But we still got a great show for you today. Real quick, 833-687-4448. That is the text line number. Text in. Let us know your thoughts. We've been talking mostly about the MTG Trump fallout thus far in the show. But we got a couple of texts about that. Lewis from Trinity, Alabama says, 2 things I just want to say. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. All these people who think they're going to leave because it's not going their way, my thoughts are not true conservative. You don't think you're going to get reelected for doing things that people want, then just stay there and then quit after your time is up. Secondly, Trump's been trying to do a lot, but the judges are stepping in his way. I would agree with that, yeah. But I think what we're talking about is in terms of actually passing legislation. Like, why is certain legislation not getting passed? And who is blocking, certain things. Like the Doge one, like I said earlier, is a perfect example. How hard is it each week we get a package of Doge that gets passed, go through the rescissions process, get it, approved through committee, and then bring it to the floor and pass it. We only had one of those, and that was the PBS and NPR thing. Why? Although it's only $100 billion of, how much our national debt is, that's something easy. But we can't even get that done. So who's blocking it? Who's stopping that legislatively, stuff getting done? I agree with the judges part for sure. Trump's getting held up with a lot of things from activist judges. But in terms of passing legislation, when we have the majority in all 3 branches, who is stopping that from happening? It's frustrating nonetheless.
There's really no excuse.
We got also Mike from Florence, Alabama says, might be the one big beautiful bill backfiring, passing too much in one bill and not getting it all done. We might not have gotten everything we wanted with single bills, but we could have seen who supported what and based future votes on that.
I'm all for single subject bills.
Yeah, I would be too. But we could have. I think the omnibus, bills can be an asset in theory. But then you get poison pills put in there by people like Mitch McConnell and others that want to sabotage for whatever reason. But it is frustrating that the single bills, that's just, yeah. I wish we could do that, but there's no, there's no get to it. There's nothing encouraging Congress to do that for whatever reason.
It's really frustrating though. Well, you look at what happened with the opening back up the government and what did apparently Mark Wayne Mullen, which is weird because he wasn't even, maybe he was. They put the $500,000 payback from the DOJ.
Yeah.
The Arctic Operation Frost. Arctic Frost that Tommy Tuberville and Marsha Blackburn. You slide that stuff in, it's going to get passed because nobody's going to not vote to open the government. And then things like what happened to Mo Brooks. If you remember the NDAA, you might not remember this from years ago. They used it against him because he voted against the NDAA. And when he was running for Senate, they used it against him. Like, he hates our military. He doesn't want to fund our military. He hates America, blah, 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 blah. Well, no. In that giant bill, there were red flag laws and there were laws for drafting our daughters. So Mo Brooks actually stood firm on some key issues, but again, they can use it against you. And that's where they get you, because you have to say yes to the big, beautiful bill or you hate America.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, there's all this other garbage in there that you probably didn't want. Stinks.
It does. And by the way, when we talk about, the White House pressuring Congress, obviously that's a lot more than just President Trump. That's his team around him. That's folks like Susie Wiles. That's folks like, his advisors around him that may be sabotaging things from within. So the thing is with Trump, I mean, in a lot of ways, the president is his team. Obviously, the president has to make executive decisions, but he relies on his team around him because he's the president. Like, he can't do everything, so he relies on folks like Susie Wiles and others. And if there's other people in the White House other than Trump that are putting their weight on certain members of Congress to not do this or don't do that, that's a problem when they're going against things that Trump ran on. Like, I don't know, certain bills like citizens who weren't born here can't run for office. I don't know. That seems like something that could be brought to the floor and would pass in a GOP, Congress. But why? Like, there's so many layups like that in the Doge rescissions. I say again, like, who in the White House other than Trump is putting their weight on Congress to not get this stuff done? Because there is a GOP swamp for sure. I know we all know that, but it's not just the Nancy Pelosi's and such. Like, there's a GOP swamp as well that appears to be fighting at every turn to keep certain stuff from being done. It's frustrating, but that it kind of leads to the bigger question of, has MAGA been infiltrated by certain people that are sabotaging things when we had such a great opportunity before the midterms, but now it looks like we're just going to get crushed in the midterms because not much got done.
I can give Trump a pass his first term. He had never been in Washington. He had never been in state government. Okay, fine. But you don't get a pass, I don't think, your second term. Personnel is policy. Who you hire is what you're going to get. Their worldview, their moral compass is what you're going to get. I guess maybe the only thing I can give you a pass on is if by chance they were like extorted or compromised after they got into that office, which might be what's happening. But he knows better by now with all he's gone through. So things aren't getting done for a reason. I don't know what it is, but somebody, and you can't but not blame it on Republicans when you have all three. You've got two chambers in the White House.
Yeah. Like,
so
it was such a great opportunity to put the left down and out in terms of pass so much legislation that even if they did win in the midterms, so much got done beforehand that they're fighting from behind because so much got done between 2024 and 2026, like technically 2025, January of 2025, and then 2026. And that opportunity was just, not taken advantage of. I don't know.
Isn't it what Republicans always do?
Oh yeah, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory every time.
Every time. We do it in Alabama. We, right now in Alabama, we're a super majority, but we got to be fair to the Democrats. I mean, we got to allow them to pass some things because when they're in charge, we want them to allow us. Yeah, it never works like that. They are never that nice. They never play fair. So I'm a Christian and I love Jesus and all, but we play to win.
Exactly.
Or we should, but we don't.
Well, God uses people and their actions. And if people don't act, then God can't do anything with it. I mean, I'm not saying God can't do anything with it, but he uses people to go and act out his will.
Right.
So we have to play to win. You
still have to go push the button on the legislation and make the right choice because God chose to put you there. Real quick, and we might not have time to make a response to this, but I want to read Marjorie Taylor Greene's response to the Punch Bowl article to these other Republicans potentially resigning before their term is up. She says, fact check true, but it's worse than people inside the bubble know when you talk to real Americans outside of the wicked snow globe of Washington, D.C. Myself and many of my colleagues came courageously roaring into 2025 with legislation that matched the 2024 electoral mandate, only to be totally sidelined by Johnson under full obedience of the White House. Executive orders are temporary. My colleagues constantly are trying to pass loyalty tests instead of demanding what is right. And that won't help Americans pay their rent or stop corporations from buying up homes, buying their groceries, provide good paying jobs, and stop foreigners with visas from stealing their jobs, stop American tax dollars from funding foreign wars and causes. And it also won't help rebuild the value of the dollar. Passing effective legislation that gets signed into law is permanent and actually solves Americans' problems. She goes on to say the uniparty always wins no matter which way the political pendulum swings, leaving the American people empty-handed. What is the convincing message for 2026 and likely 2028? It will be American people asking candidates, what tangible thing have you done for me and how did it make my life better? Serious changes are needed and words are unconvincing.
I think a lot of that is true. Why don't we have a bill that bans BlackRock from buying up single family homes? The Republicans love to talk about that, but then when it's time to actually make legislation for it, it doesn't happen because that's not capitalistic. We can't have a free market. If we do, come on. It's just stuff along those lines. That's, they all seem to be a part of it with their, when they say it with their mouths, but then they don't actually do it.
It's a lot like what happens in Alabama. And, their palm cards read, I'm a Christian conservative, and they're with a gun out in front of the church with 3 babies and a big cross in the background on a tractor with it's the stereotypical Southern conservative. And then they get in office and it's like they've forgotten I just want you to be who you say you're going to be when we elect you. It's really not that difficult.
Yeah.
Just be that person and it'll all work out fine. But for some reason, it just doesn't. So now we got to take a break. We've got Mamdani and Trump, their love fest. We've got Kristi Noem and some biometrics coming a la Patriot Act to your airport. H-1B. Epstein, you put together a banger. We've got a lot to do. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. Sorry, I had to finish my cashews.
She's eating
It's very
nuts,
professional, isn't it? I don't know. I got hungry. I didn't have a very big lunch. Should have eaten a bigger lunch. Anyway, do we have any texts?
We do.
What's going on over there?
We actually got a text about something we were talking about earlier because we included in the montage the Muslim crying because people were eating bacon in front of him. But Chris from Stare, Alabama says he's listening about 15 minutes behind, so this may have been addressed. But in regards to the Muslims and the bacon, he read a report that said these men were yelling at them while the Muslims were praying, saying things like, "You don't have a bomb on, do you? And go back to where you came from. I'm a Christian and do not condone those actions." If that's what happened, I would agree. If that was what happened, I don't necessarily agree with that. But if these people were arrested for just simply eating bacon.
Do you okay? You really agree with that?
Agree with what?
They should have been arrested for just yelling.
Oh no, I'm just saying as a Christian, I don't endorse or encourage that to happen. I don't think they should have been arrested. No.
So, if you would like to protest Muslims taking over your town, what is the correct way to do it as a Christian?
I think like what we saw in Dearborn of the marches. Christians against Islamification. I think that's great. I think speaking at the city council meetings is great as well. But I don't think it's a great look on Christians to verbally assault and demean. And I know this may sound like a leftist, whatever, verbally assault, but I think it's much, much better and effective for us to protest, on the streets, speak at city council meetings than demeaning or yelling things at Muslims while they're praying. I think there's much better and more effective ways for our cause to go about it.
Let's say I don't know if they were Christians. Do you?
Oh, the people who were arrested?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen that either.
So let's say they weren't Christians, or let's say they were, and they got caught up in the moment and they started yelling things that they shouldn't have. The end result was still they were arrested.
Exactly. And I don't think that's right.
Regardless if you're a Christian or not.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Christian-like, we can debate that. It's terrifying that there was, as far as I know, and tell me if I'm wrong, there was no physical assault. It's basically like you were being bullied in the middle school hall and they were arrested.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that.
I do too.
I don't think if the shoe had been on the other foot.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
That they would have been arrested. Even if it had, I would argue that they shouldn't have been. Now, the difference is, I guess, you can't disturb the peace. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You can't cause a scene. I don't know where that line is drawn. Which brings me to House Bill 51 that was filed in Alabama by Representative Givens, who I'm pretty sure, I can't remember. There's Gavan and there's Givens. Anyway, this bill is interesting. It's going to Judiciary Committee. Crimes and offenses, assault in the second degree, harassment, and harassing communications further provided. So you start going through the bill. It's all about the harassment of elected officials and assault, intent to assault. Okay? It doesn't say actual assault. It says if you have the intent to assault, to physically harm an elected official, a healthcare worker. It's really kind of weird what it goes through. A peace officer, a correctional officer, an emergency medical service personnel, a utility worker, or a firefighter. So with intent to cause physical injury to a teacher, an employee of public educational institutions, and it goes on with intent, not an actual assault. Okay, with intent. It makes it a felony. And then it goes on to say, let's see. It goes on to talk about harassment. A person commits the crime of harassment if, with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another individual, he or she does either of the following: strikes, shoves, kicks, or otherwise touches, directs abusive or obscene language, or makes an obscene gesture. For the purpose of this section, harassment shall include a threat, verbal or nonverbal, made with the intent to carry out the threat. Harassment is a Class C misdemeanor. The person who commits a crime of harassing communications, if with the intent to harass or alarm another. It doesn't say you do go through with it. It says you have the intent. I have an issue with this bill. If you remember years ago, and I can't even remember if it passed or not, it was during COVID and the Summer of Love, BLM, and all that crap. There was a bill that was filed to specify that the gathering of 8 or more people was considered basically a riot. You could call that a riot. Okay. Well, what does that do? 8 of us leave this office and we walk out there and we decide to protest against the COVID vaccine. They can just call us a riot and arrest us. The same thing with this intent. This is a very slippery slope. If you pick up the phone and you call someone and then your daughter calls and clicks in and you have to hang up and pick up her call, they could say, well, you had intent to annoy. Y'all, it doesn't end.
Yeah, it's all subjective.
It's all subjective. It is terrifying. And this is happening in Alabama. Be careful. It's kind of the legal immigration versus illegal immigration. Don't ask for legal immigration.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what Trump is bringing us, to the tune of 600,000 Chinese students.
It's true.
Okay.
And the stupid break has interrupted our rant.
Stupid break. Pay the bills. We'll be right back. Welcome into Rightside Radio. Didn't really give me time, JP.
Sorry.
Now, see, I have these new earphones that go in. They're like Justin Timberlake. Well, they don't have the little thing, the little microphone.
Yeah.
But I need a second to put them over my ear.
What, with the old ones messing up your hair?
Yeah, it was a whole. You don't have to worry about it.
No, I worry about it every day. Each break, I gotta
shine it up.
Get a brush, and
he's got this little towel over there, and he goes.
I wax it.
Yeah. Actually, if you want, you can turn that light off because it does kind of hit your head.
I think it makes it look sharp. It's like ding.
So we had lots in that montage.
Uh-huh.
You want to go to Mamdani?
Mamdani and Trump, yeah.
Mamdani.
It was a little bit bizarre. So, yeah, if you haven't seen Zohran Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York City now, went to the White House and they had a meeting. And then I think them having a meeting itself was not the part that, got a lot of attention. It was the friendly nature of the meeting. But specifically, if you look at all the clips, it seems like Mamdani's purposely giving Trump the cold shoulder, like purposely purposely not really looking at him, not really giving him much attention. And even after the meeting, he still said that, he still thinks Trump is a fascist. But Trump was the one in the meeting that was, having fun with him. He's the one after the meeting that said that the chemistry between them two was great. They got along really well, and that they share a lot of the same, desires in terms of what they want to be achieved in New York. So there's kind of two sides to this coin here. Some people who are like, oh, that's refreshing to see, the right and the left kind of come together and share a good moment. But then there's also the side of conservatives who are a little bit concerned that Trump was being so friendly with Mamdani. So I guess the real question is it a problem that Trump was being nice with or friendly with Mamdani, or is it just not that big of a deal? Do you think that's just Trump being Trump and friendly?
Okay. I have lots of thoughts, but I'll start with the response to that. It kind of goes back to like Katie Britt when she first got into office. And I think I talked about this the other day. I guess there are two paths you can take when you get to a position like that. You can either staunchly stay on your side and be very, gosh, this is such a difficult conversation because anyway, very partisan, which on one hand is not a bad idea. Or you can reach across the aisle and you can try and persuade and inform and influence the opposite side of the aisle. And I'm not sure there is a right or wrong, but there are pitfalls with each side. And historically, Trump hasn't really, I'm trying to think. Has he reached across the aisle like that bigly before?
I don't think so. I mean, if you want to count like that one picture of him with Schumer and was it Jeffries that was in the Oval Office during the shutdown, and he was like giving them Trump 2020 hate hats and like messing with them. I think that's a bit different than what we saw with this. So I don't think so, actually.
I really don't think so. And so you're seeing Trump kind of get chummy with the other side. Meanwhile, he's going hard after some very strong, maybe more libertarian, but I would say they are what they think is America first. Republicans. So either he's exercised, I don't know. I look at that and I go, maybe he is a genius because Mamdani's followers and the people that elected him are currently melting down because he was seen. The fact that he even took a meeting with Trump, and apparently Mamdani reached out to Trump for the meeting. It wasn't vice versa. So then Trump really plays it up in the Oval Office. We're best friends now. They're like punching each other's arm and patting each other on the back, and they're laughing. Maybe Trump was like, okay, I am going to totally take him down. They're going to think we're best friends. And maybe it works because I'm guarantee you those Democrat Socialists of America that voted for Mamdani are not happy.
I actually think that's true. I think that Trump was playing it up because, like I said, you saw Mamdani kind of, giving him the cold shoulder and continuing to call him a fascist with him there. And even in pictures with him, he was kind of, smiling without showing teeth. Like, I think he was making this seem like he was still giving Trump the business even when he was there. But I think Trump was doing it a bit on purpose, playing it up a bit to make him look, like he's buddy with, Trump. And even the part where he said, "You can just say I'm a fascist. Yeah, don't worry, buddy," slapping him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I think that may be part of it. I also think, Trump does like to try and get along with people when he's meeting them for the first time. But I do think there was a bit of showmanship of, this guy is the Democratic Socialist, the future leader of the Democratic Party, probably. And I'm going to try to make him look like he's being buddy with me. I think that's true. There may be a bit of that. I also think there may be a bit of just Trump, being Trump. I don't think it's that big of a deal. If this was like an AOC or somebody, maybe I'd be like, okay, that person really right now is our enemy. We need to be going after them hard. But this guy being a mayor of a city, I don't think it's that big of a deal of, why isn't Trump going after him hard? I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think there was a bit of showmanship of trying to soften up Mamdani and make him look bad to his base.
The only downfall I see is that we cannot play nice with the Muslim community. We just can't. It's incompatible with America. So the optics of that, to me, I have a problem with. But he is going to be the mayor of New York City. Trump is extremely passionate about that city. And so maybe he's just trying to save what he can and influence him however he can. I don't know, but I have a problem, Mamdani. Can I just give him a name?
Just call him Zoran.
The Z guy wants to make every New York child or New York City child learn Arabic, count to 10 in Arabic.
Arabic numerals.
Yeah. I'm not down with that.
No,
that's not cool. That is not. How about we make everybody learn English?
Exactly.
What is wrong with that idea? Let's put our tax dollars towards that. So for Trump to platform him a little bit gives me pause. But like you said, I don't know if it's that big of a deal. Trump really on the federal level, you can't really do much with a state level, city level official anyway.
Yeah.
So all that was optics.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope too, if it came to where Zoran is actually implementing the government ran grocery stores and stuff like that, that we would cut funding to New York.
Yeah.
I hope
that's true.
I hope when push comes to shove that actually happens. But there is also a part of it where, Trump said, well, we talked and we actually agree on a lot more than I thought. We want no more foreign wars. We want cheaper home affordability. We want all this stuff. And I really hope that Trump knows that Zoran's way of getting there is socialism. And it's a lot different than Trump's thought way of, like, I really hope Trump wasn't sold a bag of goods from Zoran. Like, we want the same things, actually.
Trump's not that stupid.
I was about to say, Trump's not that dumb. So I really hope that wasn't actually the case of Trump being like, oh, well, we agree, because we don't agree. But I don't know. It's a funny moment, but I think I do think Trump was trying to make him look bad in front of his base, which Zoran was really trying not to take the bait on that.
But if the government run grocery stores are run by and paid for by the state government, there's nothing Trump can do.
Yeah.
And that actually is totally up to each state. I'm a huge states' rights fan. Whatever you want to do. But you still have to operate in America. Just can't go against those federal laws. But if it's state funded, they can do what they want. It won't last long because it won't work.
Well, you did see that on the federal level, the House condemned socialism. Did you see that? They passed a resolution to condemn socialism. It's like, oh, great, guys.
Great.
Yeah.
How about we actually pass something to lower our debt and help save America? We knew socialism wasn't good, or we should have.
You would think, yeah. Thomas from Killen By the way, 833-687-4448 is the text line number. Thomas from Killen says Trump's just playing with his food.
I kind of think so. And I'm here for it. But if Trump starts ribbon cutting at the government-owned run grocery stores, I'm going to have issues.
Exactly.
I don't think you will.
Matt from Madison from earlier, by the way, said enough is enough. Free speech works both ways. YouTube, quote, 3 phases of jihad. Look at London, Germany, and France. We must stop this before it takes on any more momentum.
You think he was talking about bacon?
Yeah, he was talking about our discussion on the people who were arrested for eating bacon and potentially harassing Muslims worshiping. Yeah. I
kind of agree. We might need to dig into that a little more because if the men went into the mosque while they were praying, that's different than if you're holding a press conference outside in a public space and some people walk by and start. But I tend to agree with Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to just fall on that side.
Definitely should not have been arrested. We can have the argument of if it's effective or not for Christians to be doing that or any people to be doing that. But I agree that free speech, free speech should not be arrested for it.
100%. I think it's break time again.
It is break time again.
That is just crazy. How does this happen? Oh, Jennings is getting a FaceTime call from my niece. She just hung up. I got to figure out how to get this off the iPad. Julia, I'm sorry. All right, you're listening to Rightside Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside
You want me to point to
Radio.
you?
Yeah, you point to me when we're live.
Sorry, I got tickled and JP was like, "Do you want me to bring us in?" Yes, you go.
Okay, good. I'm
Okay.
JP alongside Allison here in the studio. No Amy Beth today. She's off vacationing for Thanksgiving in a cartel-filled area of Cancun, Mexico.
Still pretty.
It's still pretty.
I mean, she gets kidnapped. It'll be pretty scenery.
It'll be fun scenery while getting kidnapped.
I used to go to Mexico every Christmas. My family would go after Christmas. So like the day after Christmas, we would leave and we'd go. It's actually why I wanted to adopt from Mexico, but they didn't have an adoption program. So we adopted from Guatemala. I love that part of the world. Like the people, the culture, everything. And it's so sad to me where we are now.
My parents went on their honeymoon to Cancun, but that was 2001. Bit of a different time.
Back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Times were good.
Times are good. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't alive.
I wonder, that was right. 9/11.
Yeah.
So when did they get married?
October of, actually, it may have been October of 2000 they got married.
Okay.
Around that time.
So we got married September 22nd, 2001. And that was 11 days after 9/11. And that was terrifying. And we had to fly to Canada. So I remember going to the airport and you sit there and you just look at everybody and you get in your seat and you like kind of go, all right, if he comes from this way, I'm going to do this. And if he anyway, it was scary.
If this guy comes from this way, I'm taking out the guy next to me. I'm running. I'm hitting the guy in front, 2 rows in front before I get to that guy.
You think I'm kidding?
That's true.
That was exactly it.
Wow.
And Jared Sinclair could not have been more excited for the coming fight. He was ready for his moment.
I think I said it last week when Amy Beth was talking about Chris and their dog Moose knocking on the door.
Yes.
That is your dream scenario as a man.
That's exactly it.
When crap hits the fan, it's go time. You dream of that moment. That's what you daydream about. You just daydream about somebody coming after you and you, pow, taking this guy out, bam, taking this guy. And it probably wouldn't go according to plan, but still.
I mean, but we were at least trying to have a plan. Do you remember, was it Todd Beamer? Todd Beamer. Do you know that name?
Mm-mm.
The guy on the plane that was headed towards the White House that they crashed. And he called his wife or whatever. And he was the one that was like, let's roll.
Let's roll. Famous last words.
That was Jared.
Have you ever been to that site? Flight 93 site?
No.
Have you? Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Huh.
They got the site in the distance, and then it's got the glass walls, and then they got a whole memorial in there of all the people on the plane and such. It's pretty heavy, but yeah, let's roll. That's like one of the best last words.
You weren't even born.
I wasn't. I was.
Your parents were just honeymooning still.
Yeah, my parents were honeymooning when 9/11 happened, or just after the honeymoon.
Yeah, I was working at Chick-fil-A's home office. This is the weirdest. I don't even know how we got on this topic, but it's a short segment, so I'll go with it. But I was working at Chick-fil-A's home office. I had just moved to Atlanta doing computer programming, which is just bizarre because I'm not a computer programmer, but I wanted to work for, I have an industrial engineering degree. So we can program, but I didn't love it, but I wanted to work for Chick-fil-A. And we were in an IT meeting. And I remember somebody came in and said, whoever was speaking, they like whispered in their ear. And it was very George Bush in the classroom. They leaned over and, a plane's hit the World Trade Center. And so we all pray. But we're thinking it's just an accident. Like, I don't know how things go so wrong. Somebody had a heart attack. Somebody did something, but it's just an accident. And then they came in and said the second tower was hit. And all HE double hockey sticks broke loose because Chick-fil-A's office is right next to the Atlanta airport. So it got kind of squirrely. But anyway, I remember going up, I don't know how, but like 8 of us ended up in Truett Cathy's office. He wasn't there. I can't remember the internet if we could have watched it, but we had to go watch it on TV. And we just sat there and watched as all this went down. And it's the most helpless, terrifying feeling. Everybody left, went home. We were just about to get married. It's like the world stopped. And it was awful. But the symptom of that was beautiful in that for one fleeting moment, and it was horrific. Why? But everybody, like, it's the last time I remember not talking about Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just Americans. And so it was awful and awesome at the same time, which kind of leads into one of our stories is this new biometrics. Because see, we used to be able to go to the airport. You don't remember this, but you could just like walk straight through. You could go to the gate. You could have like the movie scene where your long lost loved one was just coming in from 6 weeks abroad, and you could hug them at the gate, and there were no taking off your shoes and none of that. And then all of a sudden 9/11 happened and the Patriot Act happened and everything. And now apparently Kristi Noem wants to up the ante. And we're doing biometrics now.
Yeah. I can't remember. I think is when we landed in France this past summer. And I'm still confused as to, we got to customs and so, oh, well, I'm gonna have to give you my passport, right? Because, oh no, you can just look into this camera and it'll tell me all you need to know. We need to know about you. And I remember after that happening, I said to my mom, I was like, I really don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. And she was like, what, do you have something to hide? I'm like, no, but that's a bit too far.
Always decline it if we're in the States. Always. You can totally decline it. You can say no. I tried to decline it in Italy and I thought I was going to get put in jail, but you can decline it in the US. I don't know about that. And I'm like, if we have to get the star, is that not enough?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never getting the star either.
I already got the star.
I refuse to get the star.
Government overreach.
Seriously.
You are a libertarian.
I am. If I wasn't a Christian, I would be a libertarian. I would.
That's true.
All right. Top of the hour. Gosh, another break. We'll be right back, though. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair. No Amy Beth Shaver today. She's probably enjoying a pina colada on the beach with her family.
Probably.
JP, we got left out. We were not invited.
Should we just have pina coladas here during the show?
Is that illegal? Can you drink pina coladas?
Well, I don't think it. I don't know if it's illegal, but I don't think we should do it either.
Might make for a great radio show.
Oh, it'd make for a radio show, all right.
We'd have to, I don't know. I cannot drink a whole drink. Like I just don't. I get halfway through and I just want to take a nap. So if I ever suggest pina coladas, only give me half. Otherwise, there will be no radio show.
Sounds like me.
I cannot believe it's 4:00.
It is kind of crazy.
We've covered a lot. Marjorie Taylor Greene. What the heck? Everybody's resigning from Congress potentially. Mamdani and Trump. Frenemies, besties.
Actually, I think.
Besties.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are. What else did we get to? Biometrics coming to an airport near you. I don't even know. I'm sure there are cameras everywhere. I just decline the photo just to be a pain.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of resistance.
Well, the thing is with whenever I've gone to an American airport, they take your passport or your ID and you take a picture. So I guess in my brain, they were just kind of verifying that I was the guy on the license. But when I was in France, they literally like didn't take a passport, nothing, just a picture of the camera. It's like, oh, so a picture of me is enough.
Which means you're like in some Interpol database.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm like, what?
Yeah, that is scary. Not even on your own country's soil.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I don't know. It's definitely the pitch already is what's going to make things so much faster and better.
Get you where you're going with your family, especially during the holiday. I don't even know if it'll be out for the holidays.
Your experience will be so much better. It's like, oh, okay. Well, then that's worth giving you my civil liberties for sure.
It was better in 1980. I'm telling you. Well, I'm okay. 1990. I remember that. Yeah, I don't know what Kristi Noem's talking about, but I need to do a little more looking into it.
I'm curious to see what all the biometrics entails. Like, put your finger here. Beep. Oh, Mr. Plot. Hello. How are you?
Yeah. Scan your palm. Where was I the other day that was scan your palm? I think it was at Whole Foods.
Oh,
and it was scary. That
Whole
like
Foods.
the place at the airport where you can walk out and just walk because it's scanning your body or something. I don't know. Weird. I don't like it. I don't like it
bizarre.
at all.
To be continued.
Do we have any texts?
We do, actually.
Because my iPad died. Don't have anything.
Oh, I meant
it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. I don't need it. I don't need to. No, I don't need it.
Mike from Florence says, on an old Andy Griffith episode, Barney was planning where he would go if he got the reward for catching a criminal. One of, if not the first places he rattled off was Afghanistan.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Okay. Kenya from Monrovia says, you know the old saying, keep friends close and enemies closer? This is what Trump is doing with Zoran.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not give him a shot? I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. I think the problem, most conservatives are having is this guy's our enemy, It's like, well, I mean, you said it earlier. What can Trump even do? I mean, he can cut off funding, but other than that, like he's a mayor of a city, there's only so much Trump can influence him on. And I think he was, trying to warm him up and make him look bad in front of his own base, because Zoran didn't even do much buddy. He gave him the cold shoulder most of the time he was there, but even just going to the Oval Office was like a middle finger to his base already. So I think Kenya is correct. I think he's trying to keep his enemies close. And I mean, Trump's not an idiot, even though, he says some things like, well, we really want the same things. Well, you don't, but I don't know. I trust that Trump knows all he needs to know about Zoran. But berating him and getting into a shouting match with him. Also, somebody else too say, so Zelensky gets a shouting match from Trump, but Zoran gets a buddy from Trump. What's going on here? He was like, well, Zoran isn't getting money from us to fight a war that needs to be ending. Like, it's a completely different dynamic. It's like completely different. And like I said earlier, if that was like an AOC or somebody, I'd be upset if Trump was being buddy-buddy with them. But I think this is just different.
I think it's the beginning,
Mhm.
and you give it a shot. It's like Senator Britt. Her strategy is to, and again, apparently she was very pivotal in the government shutdown, reconciliation, and getting us back open. So it's a strategy and it's a technique to use. The problem is you just can't. You have to stay true to your convictions and your side and your platform and what you said you were going to do. You can't give in.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when we went to the State House a few years ago and did our radio show from the State House, we invited Republicans and Democrats. We just opened the, like whoever wanted to come, and we had both come in. I'm willing to give everybody a chance to talk, whether I agree with you or not. And our listeners are smart enough to decide. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm not going to veer from my convictions. So I hope Trump doesn't either.
Yeah.
In the end.
I agree.
I don't think he will.
Nah. We'll see. Badger from Athens says, the Z guy, if he said Arabic numerals, okay, this is what we were talking about off air. We already use Arabic numerals. The Arabic community and Muslims use Indian numerals. So maybe written numerals, we use the same. But I think what he was saying was like how to, like uno, dos, tres, cuatro,
Right.
like what you said.
Right.
I think they're teaching them how to say the numbers in Arabic.
That was my understanding.
Yeah. But even if you're saying, we use the same numerals anyways, yeah, but this is a Muslim mayor that is imposing that kindergartners learn how to say the Arabic numerals. Like, do you understand? Like, not a great look.
I don't think Badger, I won't speak for him,
Mm-hmm.
or her.
I think it's a he.
I don't think that's what he wants.
No.
But like we've seen in Dearborn, like we've seen in Shelby County with the Islamic Academy that's trying to come into North Shelby County, it is a slow creep to where now 3 men are in jail for eating bacon in front of some Muslims.
You give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
And that, we're not even being dramatic or being rude by saying that. That is their plan. That is their mandate. That is their religion. And you can ask any Muslim, especially ones that have fled the countries, they will tell you that. The ones that are in the process of continuing to dominate and subjugate maybe won't be so open about it, but
Yeah.
There's really no denying it.
Let's see. This is funny. Brad in Crimestone County. State-run grocery stores up there in New York City. Socialism. ABC stores here in Alabama. Totally not socialism.
I cannot stand. Why do we have the ABC board?
I don't know. It's a great question. It's one of those things I think most Alabama voters don't think about because we're in a red state. They don't think about certain stuff. I mean, obviously not all of them. Brad from Crimestone thinks about it, but I think for the most part, it's just one of those things that's just under people's radar. Like,
I mean, you can still get your poppy schnoppy, whatever it is you want, but there is no need for the ABC board.
No.
It needs to be abolished. There's no, I mean, look at the Marijuana Cannabis Commission, whatever mess that is. My word. Like, the government will screw everything up and screw everyone over. Anyway.
I'd agree. It's such a whole, that is a whole show within itself, honestly. Let's see. We got one more here. Jenkins from Sneed. So Jenkins from Sneed actually texted earlier and said that he feels like he was hearing a lot of doom and gloom about how America's doomed, and asked for a solution. And we responded back and asked him what he thinks the best solution is moving forward, genuinely asking. And he said something I think is a very valid and like the foundational point. I think the country really needs to go back to focusing on Christ and get back to our core values, God, Christianity, and moral values based on scripture. We need to turn back to Jesus. And that is the ultimate, solution long-term. When we're talking about the, certain, if the architecture of DC is set up to where the swamp on both sides kind of ends up winning no matter what, and you get into a mode of what's the point? What's the point of doing anything? Just check out and wait for Jesus to come back, sit in your hole. But that is the complete opposite, because if you do that, then the swamp and the anti-Christian crowd wins. You have to get engaged, and hopefully eventually more and more people get engaged with Christ-centered values, and then we outnumber the swamp. So I think that is the long term. It's a marathon, not a sprint. it's just frustrating though. Like it's frustrating to see a split within the right, and you feel like the White House is attacking Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene more than they're attacking like AOC and the actual enemies, which are on the left. But long term, the way to beat that is infiltrating the system politically and being a Christian with Christ-centered values, and we outnumber the swamp. So that is the long-term solution. Although, we express our frustrations because we all voted, for Trump. We're all conservatives. We're all Republicans. So whenever we see stuff on our own side we don't like, we kind of hold it to a higher standard. But yes, I agree. The long-term goal and foundationally is to come back to Christ. That's the only way we win.
Yeah, I think it is. And we always talk about on the show that we don't want to be Debbie Downers, doom and gloom. That's not, we want to be, this is how you get involved. This is the solution, and do it in an informative and entertaining way. However, I feel like as Republicans in general, you just want to go, you want to go to work, you want to provide for your family, you want to go home, you want to take care of your kids, hang out with your spouse, go to, you just want to live your life. Basically, we vote people into office to do all the things we don't want to do, but we're not at that life anymore where that's a luxury, and we don't have that anymore. So what we're trying to do is just educate you. And if you don't know that 3 people were just arrested for eating bacon, and I'm simplifying it, in front of some Muslims, you don't really know how to attack the problem and to effectively come up with a solution. So when it does seem like everything is depressing and that's not what we're going for, but we're here to let you know what's going on, and we keep up with all the things so you don't have to.
Yeah. All the things.
Oh, hit it.
All the things.
Gosh, she's so annoying. She's so annoying. She reminds me of my grandmother. Rest in peace, Grandma Pat.
Rest in peace.
RIP. So we got to take another break. But are we going to open the phone lines? Maybe some people have some solutions.
Yeah, I think we can open up the phone lines.
We'll see. Would love any solutions at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're desperate.
833-687-4448. If y'all want to text or call in, let us know your thoughts and your solutions. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. This is JP here alongside Allison, Noemi Beth today, but Rightside Radio still goes on. We still got to do a show, but we got a caller that is on the line. This is Paul from Athens who wants to talk about the Islamification of America. Paul, you're on the air. What's up, brother?
Hey, JP. It's good to finally talk to you.
Hey, yeah, good to talk to you.
I've been texting in several times, and I thought I'd finally put my voice on the air. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got a couple of foods for thought. One is the prophecy of Daniel with the 10 toes and the iron and clay. And as a few schools of thought as to exactly what that is, and I think most have it right as the iron is Rome or Europe and America, European nations, but not too many people know what the clay is. And I think the clay is Islam.
Interesting. Hey, Allison.
Yeah. Okay. Refresh all of our memories on the prophecy.
The head of gold, the chest of silver, the legs of bronze, and the 10 toes, which are iron, partly clay, and it says that they don't cleave to one another, just like iron and clay don't mix. Yeah, and you think about, when you lay a foundation of a house, you put the rebar in with the concrete so that the foundation doesn't crack. The vibrations of one another, make sure they don't mingle, and their vibrations upset one another.
What do most people think the clay is if it's not Islam?
For some reason think it's paganism, but if they don't cleave to one another, unfortunately, there's plenty of paganism that's mixed in with Christianity and around America and the globe. So I don't think that's it. I think it's Islam because they don't assimilate.
Very good point.
Yeah.
How do you think we approach this as Christians and handle this issue that is quickly coming our way?
Well, my opinion is, Messiah said, my kingdom is not of this world. We're supposed to be in the world, but not of it. There's a bit of a tenuous existence. And by tenuous, I mean, you don't want to be overcome, but you don't want to, try to overcome by the ways of the kingdoms of the world.
So do we don't, is it more like you're not bringing back the Crusades kind of thing? You just will not participate in it?
My opinion is that, the laws are good, but the problem is, when you try to enforce the laws of God by, the arm of the flesh, which is, you do this, you're going to be punished. Well, yes and no. I mean, there's mercy. You can break the laws with mercy for a while. And maybe there eventually are consequences, but you don't do that with the kingdom of the world. The kingdom of the world, they catch you, you're busted. And so, there's, China's been known to, you steal, you get a finger cut off.
Right.
That's been known, and not necessarily a Christian nation, but, that's one way people don't steal. You enforce the law, but again, that's not Christianity. But anytime you try to govern by the law over the arm of the flesh, people are going to get punished. And I don't want to be the one to have to determine who gets punished for what. I'll tell you.
Well,
I don't want to be the one because, God's the God of mercy, but he's not going to let things completely go forever.
Well, I appreciate your call, Paul. That was a great
you.
insight. The music's playing, but we got to go. But appreciate you calling in.
All right, man.
Deep thoughts with Paul.
Deep thoughts with Paul, indeed. Well, we got to go to break, and phone lines will still be open on the other side, 833-687-4448 if any of y'all want to call in or text in. Let us know your thoughts. This is Right Side Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair with JP. Gosh, I can't even remember. Oh, Dougie Fresh.
Dougie Fresh. He's
Doug
back.
E. Fresh Jones. He's back. Do you have that clip? He just released this video statement.
I do. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready. I was waiting on
good.
you. Okay.
I have finally confirmed the worst kept secret in the state of Alabama. I am running for governor of Alabama. So folks, bottom line is this. Over the last few weeks and months, Louise and I have listened to you. We have heard you, and we so much appreciate everything that people have said to us, all the encouragement that we've got. It's because of you. It's why we decided to do this. We decided to run for this office because it's so important to the folks in Alabama. Because Alabama, you, folks in Alabama, deserve a governor who is going to fight for them. What we're going to do is we're going to be going around in this campaign. We're going to be listening to people across this state. We're going to do everything we can to bring the people back to the state capital of Montgomery, Alabama as your governor. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Today was just the first step. We'll do an official kickoff sometime next month after we get through Thanksgiving. But in the meantime, what I know and what we have heard all along is that Alabama wants their next governor to be someone who lives here, who works here, who listens to the people of this state, who understands the people of this state. And Alabama wants their next governor to be someone who treats this state with grace and dignity and not just like a rest stop on the way to the Florida beach. So I need your help. Governor's Race 2026. Join us.
Here we go again.
He got killed last time against Tuberville, so I don't know why he thinks anything different's going to happen now. But a clear shot at Tuberville, obviously, with his residency in question. I think that my speculation would be maybe there's going to be some fights in the court coming up with Tuberville and his residency issue, and I think Doug Jones is hoping to come in and just waltz right into the governor's mansion because just in case if Tuberville can't figure out his residency. I think that is the only reason he's running.
I used to not be like this, JP.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know me then. I used to trust everyone, believe the best, was never skeptical. I am so skeptical of this one because I think Montgomery is terrified of Tommy Tuberville. I think when he first announced, I wasn't sure if he still had it in him. I thought he might just go down there and play golf and let Nathaniel Ledbetter run the legislature and do his job. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think he's tired of Washington, realizes what MTG just got. I think he's so done. I think he's fired up. I actually think he's ready to do some things in Montgomery, and he is not beholden to anyone in Montgomery. I don't think he gives a rip what anybody thinks in Montgomery. He's very Trump-esque in that way. And I think even some of the Republican establishment is terrified of him. And just like some of the Republican establishment, i.e. Richard Shelby, was behind Doug Jones when he ran and won the Senate.
Yeah.
I think the same thing is happening. Could be totally wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. But I'm worried because we don't have closed. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. But anyway, there might be a lot of party switching. And I think some Republicans will vote for Doug Jones because they know he can be owned.
Mm-hmm.
He will fall in line. And there are some of those moderate, squishy Republicans that run the state that would much rather have a Doug Jones than a Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you go, well, if Tommy Tuberville has some residency issues, I'm hearing that they will bring up the residency issues after qualifying so that the period to qualify is over. Then the committee, I think the way it goes, the state executive committee would appoint someone to fill that spot, which I'm guessing would be Will Ainsworth.
Well, if he's still going to be
what?
Well, I mean, when does his lieutenant governor term end? I guess the same time.
Same time.
So,
yeah. So he's out. He can't run for lieutenant governor again. He's always wanted to be governor. I think, he stepped aside for Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah.
And he would probably be the next kind of step in for that. So then what do you think happens with an Ainsworth Doug Jones matchup? Same thing. To me, that's a little, I don't know if Will Ainsworth is any. No, Will is probably a little bit better he knows Montgomery. He knows how the game is played.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad.
I like Will. I've never met him, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, I think Will would be a great governor. But I agree with you. I think there's a lot of deep staters in Alabama really worried about what Tuberville is going to do, because Tuberville is the complete and total outsider from the sense of he doesn't need anybody's money in Montgomery. Like you said, he's already raised how many $1 million?
$500,000 from the DOJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does not need our money.
So yeah, he's not going to
like $7 million from voters for his campaign.
It's nuts. He's not beholden to anybody in Montgomery. And I think that terrifies a lot of deep staters in Montgomery. And I don't know. I really don't think, I think they're trying to, I hate this term. I hate using it, but killing the baby in the womb. I think they're trying to go ahead and, raise questions with Tuberville's residency, float up Doug Jones, and see if any squishy Republicans like you said, are going to come over. And
I thought you were going to say
you.
I
was going to say, like you said, want to come over and endorse Doug or help Doug win. But ultimately, if Tuberville is on the ballot, I think by the time the election, it's not going to matter. Alabama voters are going to vote for Tuberville over Doug Jones. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of shenanigans to try to get in front of a Tuberville governor race. And I think Doug Jones, him being able to win the Senate election, however many years ago that was, and he's like I'm the conservative that's not a MAGA guy. I'm still, they're trying to use that same pitch again of any people in Alabama who don't think Tuberville will be a great choice. But just look at the last election for Senate and how much Tuberville destroyed Doug Jones. I think we'll see another example of that if Tuberville's on the ballot come time for that. But I agree. I think this is them trying to get out in front and kill that, no matter, however they can. The deep staters in Alabama, they're worried because Tuberville can't be a puppet.
You're right. This is probably their best shot at doing anything to stop the Tuberville train, which I think is unstoppable. But the people behind Doug Jones, I don't know this, y'all. I don't know this, but it's a lot like Feinbaum, who I think is actually going to get in the race. I think it's gone back and forth, but I'm now in the camp that thinks he's going to get into the race. And it's the same people that are afraid of actually having a conservative in Washington that are, and these are playmakers. These are people that aren't just, it's not grassroots. These are the money makers, the people that make Washington and Alabama go round. And so he might have a chance. I don't think the people of Alabama are dumb enough to fall for it. But let me just say, the whole I'm getting into this race because of Charlie Kirk bit from Paul Feinbaum is such a load of malarkey.
Malarkey.
I'm going to go with malarkey.
FCC compliant.
Yeah, there's just no, I mean, there are lots of other words for it, but no, it's not. Yeah. It's not. It's disgusting. Somebody's putting him up to this. I don't know why he'd want to go to Washington unless, I mean, he's just going to go to Washington and do nothing. But that's way better if you hate conservative causes than sending somebody that'll go to Washington and do something.
Exactly.
And at least he won't cause a scene. Like some of the other ones running for Senate will go up there and they might not be able to get everything passed, but they will cause a scene. They'll do Tuberville, which is exactly what that's kind of the only thing you can do is draw attention to issues. So anyway, you're watching lots of theater in Alabama right now.
It's so funny though, because you could see when it was coming. Like is it JD Crow who does the
cartoons?
The cartoons.
Yeah.
He put up a cartoon of Tuberville with like big earlobes and a big nose, and he's dancing in the corner and said, "Run, Doug, run." Like you saw the rumor, like people starting to say stuff. It's like, okay. And then I actually got texted a poll, which about Doug Jones and Tuberville. who would you vote for in a hypothetical race? This was like a week ago. Hypothetical race for governor. Who would you vote for, Tuberville or Doug Jones? And when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, this is definitely a Doug Jones gauging poll. He's going to run. But it's just it's like bringing out the old, well, this worked before, got him in the Senate. And even though he got killed by the same guy he's going to be running against, I don't think it's going to work. But if
enough Republicans vote for him.
Yeah, but
I say Republicans.
The Montgomery Republicans, though.
If enough fakers, yeah, we'll see.
I think Tuberville has a high approval rating statewide that if he's on the ballot, the Alabama voters will vote for Tuberville in a landslide. Even if the so-called quote Republicans in Montgomery who don't like it, Tuberville, if he's on the ballot, he's winning no matter what.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see if the residency question or whatever. God, I really hope that's figured out. From what I can see, and people like John Wall and others, I understand they probably, they're not going to say anything otherwise on the air, but
it's going to come up. Like somebody will challenge it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the Republican Party will challenge it. I don't know if we'll ever know who, but they will bring a challenge and the steering committee will have to vote on it. And I don't see there's any way that they vote against allowing him to run. Like John Wall said, how can you vote against someone? Now, technically, I think for Senate, though,
the requirements are different for Senate than governor.
Well, no, I was thinking for the House, you can actually run for a House seat, a congressional district seat anywhere. You don't even have to live there. I don't think that's the case for Senate races. I need to look that up. But how can you argue that he's not from Alabama when he's represented Alabama in the past 6 years?
And John Wall said that apparently in the law, it never says a primary residence has to be in Alabama, just a residence. And apparently his wife, it's under her name from what I've understood, has owned property in Alabama for a lot longer than needed to run for governor.
The man does spend a lot of time at the beach.
He does.
Okay, but that's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
That's not a crime.
You want to have a governor that just stops from Montgomery on the way to the beach. Okay, Doug lives in a Mountain Brook, probably nice mansion overlooking.
Yeah, real nice. Yeah, real nice mansion. We're almost done with our first day alone. JP, Mom's not here.
We didn't.
I was a little scared.
We didn't burn the house down.
We did not burn the house down. We made it through.
There's one more segment, one more show though.
One more segment, and oh gosh, one more show. We got tomorrow too.
We do have tomorrow.
I'm gonna need some coffee for tomorrow. But today's been good. So we got one more segment. Do we have any texts? You want to get to text? And then
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Exit question of the day.
It's my favorite time of the day. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Allison Sinclair with JP. Once again, Abs is gone. She's on a beach. Not on a boat, but on a beach.
We didn't leave her empty chair at the table because we were not going to do that.
Weird. I wondered if you could come over here, but your buttons are over there.
All the buttons over here.
Couldn't do it.
In my prison cell. They don't let me out. So I couldn't.
We gave
come
you
over there
decor.
anyways. Yeah.
We
I got
gave you
decor,
some
but that's it.
fanciness and a light. So read that text from a listener again, because we might have our first disagreement on air.
Jenkins from Sneed. Are y'all going to make pecan pie on air tomorrow? That would be cool. And then I think off air I said, if we're making any pie, it'd be pumpkin pie. To which she said the blasphemous thing of pumpkin pie. That's like throw up in a pan.
It's disgusting. It's like eating yogurt and that's been just ever so slightly frozen, just a little bit frozen. And you're like,
Listen,
ugh.
pumpkin pie. I'm going to say this. Pumpkin pie is the best pie there is for sure.
JP, that
It's up there with my favorite desserts ever. Give me like
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
Oh, you like the everything.
Cheesecake, pumpkin pie are like 1A, 1B for me in terms of best desserts. It's just so good. Come on.
It's like you might as well just eat cottage cheese.
No, it's not the same taste at
That's
all.
disgusting. There's nothing to counteract the, with pecan pie, you can have some chocolate chips and some pecans and a little bit of crust.
What is that? What
It's
is
like,
that?
it's the mush that gets stuck to the roof of your mouth.
That's so good.
That's just gross.
Just give me some whipped cream and
and then just stir it all up and you'll have a soup.
no.
Oh.
What?
But Jenkins, tomorrow we're just making ham sandwiches.
Because that's all we got.
Ham is appropriate, but
have you? But you said you like pumpkin spice cake. How is that different than pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin spice cake with like a cream cheese icing. It's fluffy. It's cooked.
So it's a texture thing.
It's a texture thing.
Okay.
I don't mind. Like I would never choose pumpkin anything. I'm not a pumpkin spice latte. I'm not a pumpkin syrup, whatever. But like a pumpkin spice muffin sounds good.
So what's the name of that like mushy texture that's on like cheesecake and pumpkin pie? Like what is the name for that? So whatever that is what you don't like. You don't like the mushy
Congealed
texture.
throw up.
Well, I wouldn't put it that way.
That's what. Now, I hope you have pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving.
I will.
And
We
you-
do every year. I got to. It's my. I will eat half of the pumpkin pie if it's left just for me to. It's the best.
All right, do me a flavor if you're going to eat pumpkin pie. And this actually does that. Just crush a little bit of walnuts on top. Just a few.
Okay.
Maybe some whipped cream and then some walnuts and at least get a little crunch.
Okay. I mean, that wouldn't make it any worse,
It's
because
not.
the pumpkin
Or
flavor is so good.
some chocolate chips.
Well, yeah. But the base being the that you're talking about is
Yeah.
what makes it so good.
Ugh. Ugh. Blech.
At least I didn't say pecan pie.
No, you didn't.
That'd be worse.
I don't know how you say it though.
Pecan.
Pecan.
Yeah.
Okay. Pecan.
Hey, I have a would you rather question.
Yeah, you said it's a good one.
Yeah.
Which scares me.
Okay. It's not any of the ones that I read to you off.
This isn't
there.
prison or coma.
No. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Would you rather? Okay, this is phrased incorrectly. Would you rather be the only one able to talk to your dog or for your dog? Okay.
Just put it in your own words.
Would you? Okay, here's how it reads. Would you rather you're to only be able to talk to your dog or for your dog to be able to talk to only you and everyone think you're nuts? So basically, would you rather have your dog be able to talk or have your dog only be able to talk to you and everyone else think that you're nuts? I guess is what it's being able to say.
Okay, so your dog. Would you rather your dog be able to talk to anybody? Or
Oh, no. Okay, so would you rather be able to talk to your dog
okay.
and it understand you, I guess is what it's saying, or for your dog to only be able to talk to you and everyone else think you're nuts?
Well, I can already talk to my dog and he understands me.
Does he?
Yeah.
But like
Get your ball, and he comes back with his ball.
yeah, but like fully understand you.
No, totally. I want him to talk to me.
For sure.
Yes.
Obviously.
I don't care if people think I'm crazy.
They're like put you in a mental hospital.
Do you know how awesome that would be?
Yeah.
to hear what was going on in their little brains. Be nonstop entertainment.
For sure. You could have just conversations all day with your dog.
Yeah. And as an empty nester, be like, nobody would see him talking to me. Nobody would think I was crazy. Nobody's there. It's empty.
And then you'll be in the psych ward, and then you'll be
slow descent.
Yeah. He talks, I swear. He talks, I swear.
He does. Okay, y'all,
That's
we
the
did
show.
it. JP, it was fun.
It was.
Let's do it again tomorrow. We
We
will
will.
show prep tonight. Be back tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. See y'all then.